Welcome back to Ribbon Candy Hooking. I'm Deanna. It is summer, and you know how I know that it is summer? Because it is so hot out here, and the kids are driving me crazy. Just kidding. Little Joss is in there. She's looking for things. And when I say she's looking for things, I mean she's asking me if I know where they are. Not really the same thing. She just added rude from the sidelines. Sorry, baby. It is summer over here, and I've been working on a new project that will be sort of like not a sideline, but it'll be yet another line that fits into the Ribbon Candy Hooking brand. It's going to be called Ribbon Candy Paintbox, and a huge thank you to Barbara Cornish for that great name. I've been thinking about the fact that so many people have been asking for and wanting pre-painted or pre-colored backings for their rug hooking projects or punch projects. And I thought, you know, I can do that. I have a big painting background. I can do that. It just became a question of when would be the right time to do that. So we have just concluded within our brand, Ribbon Candy Hooking, and our Facebook page, which is Rug Hooking and Punch Needle Club with the aspirant. We just finished a project, like a group project, a challenge on making these postcard size small hookings of where we were from, right? I made one of where I came from in Rhode Island, and we exchanged them. And now that challenge has concluded. It seems like it's time for another challenge. So I think we will launch the Paintbox Challenge. And the Paintbox Challenge, I'll describe it to you first, is going to be comprised of one of 3 canvas backings. And for lack of myself being able to come up with a more clever name, one of them is a bird, so the sky. One of them is a fish, so the sea. And one of them is a sheep, so the earth or the land. So it's one of those 3, and they are all hit or miss patterns. So I'm going to show you what they look like. When I say they're hit or miss patterns, it means that each one is hand painted and each one will be different, right? You can hook right through them. This is the first that I did. This is the bird. So this is, again, the beginning of the Ribbon Candy Hooking Paintbox line, and this will start as a challenge. People can fill in these patterns, and each one is unique and original. And, you know, you will order either the bird, the sheep, or the fish. And you see how it's painted in the background. In this case, all of these clouds are basically hit or miss clouds. And colorful. So what colors are you supposed to do them? These colors? No. This is not a kit. This is a hit or miss challenge, right? So hit or miss means, if you're new to rug hooking, that you literally find the things you have around you, your leftover supplies, your wool strips, the noodles, or your leftover yarn from other projects, your leftover quilting fabric, your cut up t-shirts, the stuff that just doesn't fit anymore or is all dirty and ruined, cut it up. Right, and then you have all those colors to play with. So this is a hit or miss challenge. This is the bird, and the bird himself is hit or miss, like all colors of blue and purple. And behind him in the sky, it's all sort of pinks, whites, very, very light colors. And then the clouds are just crazy colors. So when we think of hit or miss, sometimes we'll say like, oh, a hit or miss geometric. It's like a log cabin quilt block, that kind of thing. So I'll make this line like mostly reds, this line mostly blues. This works the same way, except the hit or miss element in this pattern is the clouds, right? And the rest of it, you can do shape, color shifting, right, with the sky and with the bird, but the clouds are a hit or miss element. For this one, this is the sea. So here's the fish, and behind him, he's got a lot of hit or miss coral branches. The water, again, is mostly blues, light blues, purples, magentas, so it crosses over into pink. You could change that, put some navy blues in there, put some turquoise, whatever you want and whatever you have. And the coral branches, when you see them close up, are quite a few different colors. Let me show you. So it's not just like oranges and pinks. It's oranges and pinks, bright yellow, lime green. There's even some forest green in them. So again, you do it however you want to do them, right? But you can see that the coral branches, that is the hit or miss element, right? The background is dark blues and purples, right? Darker, and bright in the foreground are all of these branches of coral, and they are lighter colors. So you could say to yourself, well, I'm going to do all the coral just orange and red. Great. That works great. And you might say to yourself, I'm going to leave the coral branches bare so you can see the painting on it, and I'm going to hook everything else, right? You could do that too. You could say, I'm going to hook the fish, and I want to do some beading or some needlework with my needle, like embroidery flosses, in some of the other places. Anything like that works. You might say to yourself, I want to do like a wool applique or quilt applique with quilt cotton, just the fish or just the coral branches, right? And do a mixed media fiber project, because this is white linen, right? All of these backings, they are bleached, they are white linen. So they are painted through, right? But this is there's certainly a right side. And you can do absolutely anything you want on them. This is rug hooking linen. So you can hook them, you can punch them, or you can say to yourself, I'm going to do a mixture of things. And that's where the idea of a challenge comes in. So this is the land one, this is the sheep, and he's standing on a field of like leaves, right? He's really in a background, there's no horizon. There's lots of leaves, and there are all of these flowers. But you can see I've painted lots of, and this is watercolor paint, right? So this is, you can hook right through it. Painted lots of colors and lines to give you the idea. Again, this is not a pattern. This is to give you the idea, oh, in the leaves, I'm going to do all greens with a little bit of yellow, a little bit maybe of blue and purple, but mostly greens. And it's going to read like this if you fill it in the way that it's done. If you do a departure and say, well, I think I'm going to hook with that fake fur stuff, right? The chenille stuff, just the sheep, and maybe I'll do like wool applique flowers and stitch those down with DMC floss so you can see the stitches, right? I mean, that would be beautiful too. So the whole point of this challenge is to choose one of these three patterns, the sheep, the fish, or the, what was the first one? The bird. And really lean into your supply stash, whatever you've got, lean into your prior knowledge and talent for other crafts, sister crafts like quilting, like needlework, and see if you can do a design that has a collage feel, a sampler feel, where you're using different techniques. If you want to just go ahead and hook the whole thing, then that's what you should do. The whole thing is, different people, everybody should do their project, because each one is painted uniquely and differently. When I sit down with yours, I will sit down with the blank piece, right, that's sewn around the edges so it doesn't fray. And if you picked, for example, the sheep, then I'm going to take out my sheep stencils. I've got all 3 sets of stencils in this bag. They're pieces of foam that I borrowed from Jocelyn. Should have asked her. So if you order the sheep, I'm going to take the sheep, right? I freehand the legs on the sheep. For me, to make that pattern, I used his body to trace, and I used 2 kinds of leaves and 2 sizes of flowers that are slightly different shapes. And that's how I did the whole pattern, repeating it. So if you order, for example, the sheep, then I'm going to sit down with these 4 stencils and make your sheep. And it will be similar colors and similar composition, but totally unique and an original painting. And you can decide when you look at it if you want to fill it all in with rug hooking, if you want to fill it all in with different kinds of stitches, what you want to do with it. But it's a challenge, so it'll be exciting to see what you do decide to do with it. So these pieces are 11 by 14. 11 by 14? 11 by 14. I think 11 by 14. I'll just confirm that. Hold on one second while I confirm that. Okay, let's see. So this is, yeah, 11 by 14, definitely. So these are all 11 by 14. And you know what that means? You can finish them and pop them into a standard frame. That's not an accident. So I will say, and you don't have to do that. You can mount it however you like to finish your rug projects, right? But if you wanted to, you could pop it into a traditional frame. Now, note to self, because Mama has played this game and it did not end well. I have done this before where my intention was to pop something into a frame, like from TJ Maxx, and I have been stupid and hooked right to the edge. And when you do that, it's just a little bit too big to pop into that frame. So make sure you go right before the edge. Don't, that question, do I hook on inside or outside the lines of my rug hooking piece? And the answer is always, it doesn't matter, but pick one and stick with it. In this case, it does matter, at least for the perimeter, the border. As you're hooking it, don't hook outside of it. Don't even hook on it. Hook just inside of it. If you expect to be able to wrap it around a piece of cardboard, you could do that with glue or with a few stitches and just pop it into a frame, all finished, however you chose to do it. So that should be a lot of fun, and man, that should make life easy, right? So I'm putting out these 3 things this afternoon, and the bird once more. And I'm also going to put out a companion product that doesn't come with it, but that you might want help with, particularly if you're a beginner or you really like hooking with yarn. I have been going through my 100% wool rug yarn. I have thousands of skeins, shame on me, of every color you can think of this rug yarn. So it has got a high twist. It is a thicker yarn. These are all 100% wool. They're all, I think, I never know how to pronounce, Paternaya, something like that. You know what I mean? That Persian wool. So they are all that brand, right? Tons of it. So I'm filling up bags. If you feel like this helps, right, or you want it for a different project, I'm filling up bags that have, every cut I made is 4 yards, right? 4 yards. So I'm filling up bags that include, in each bag, 25 of those small rug yarn skeins. So 25, so that's 100 yards in each bag. So if you're thinking to yourself, ooh, I would like to have a little bit of that yarn, it's brand new, right? It's already sectioned out. If you're thinking, I could really use that for this project or other projects I've got, or man, I'm just looking to hoard colorful stuff like this, it's there for you too. So you can order a pattern and order one of the yarn bags, 100 yards of the rug yarn, which means it's thicker yarn. This is linen, so this will go great into that. And it'll hook fast because this is fairly thick. Is it going to hurt my hands because it's really thick? It shouldn't, because that's, I said burlap. Did I say burlap? That's linen. That's white bleached linen, right? So it shouldn't hurt your hands. It should go through really easily, and it should hook up a treat because it's nice and lofty, and this yarn is made for rugs. It is specifically rug yarn. So if you feel like you can use some of these bags, I'll make as many as I can. There will probably be a few hundred bags in stock, but I also know from experience that when I do stuff like this, that's like a sampler bumper pack, they go. So be thinking about what you can use it for and if you want it. So these 2 things, these 2 products are coming out right now. The new Ribbon Candy Challenge, and I will put up a Facebook page for it if you use Facebook and enjoy it. I will have a page there for you. I will be talking about it on our show, the Ribbon Candy Hooking channel. When I do shows, I'll remind you that this is going on, and I'll get it organized. I'll think of a deadline for it. There really won't be a deadline for it, but we'll be doing it at the same time, and I'll certainly turn the results of your work and however you decided to fill out these 3 patterns, right? I will certainly make them into a feature article for an upcoming Magpie Times. It'll probably be, I would say, the spring issue, so we have plenty of time to do it. And this isn't particularly Christmassy. So these are going to be the first of the Ribbon Candy Hooking Paint Box products, and there will be lots more. I will be doing this all the time, whenever I get a chance anyway. But these will be the 3 that launch the line, and again, each one original, so that's super fun to know and feels special to have, I think, something original that's just yours. And I will be so curious and excited to see the way that you all fill these out. I can't wait. You certainly don't need to use the bumper pack wool. It's a great leg up if you're just getting started. But you certainly don't need to if you feel like, oh, please, I've got plenty of stuff here already. I don't need any more stuff. But it's there if you feel like you need it. And otherwise, I hope that you will choose the bird, the fish, or the sheep. And keep me posted on how you're doing. And feel free to post your progress in the Facebook group that I will set up, right? It doesn't have to be a surprise. It's great to post stuff and say, listen, is anyone else Does anyone have a better idea for the eyeball, right? Are you putting a bead? Are you making a French knot? What are you doing? It's great to post things like that because it gets other people thinking too. Lots of things to think about. I'm going to put these up this afternoon, and I hope that there is a stampede on them and that you keep me rooted at that little painting desk over there for a long time, because there is nothing better in this heat than sitting at that desk with my paints, listening to my audiobooks. Just saying. I will see you next time at Ribbon Candy Hooking.